folks, Colton Woods here with your Monday Morning Motivation, and really excited for this week's topic. I've been standing here doing something that I don't get to do too often, and that's cooking. Getting after it with the green peppers and did some mushrooms. We're going to have a nice spinach cream stuffed chicken tonight here, but it's Monday morning and we want to get your week started off right. And the one thing about cooking, training horses, the journey of life that we're on, everything has a process that we have to go through. And I find a lot of times, particularly today with social media, with the glorification of always staying busy, and all the dynamics that kind of quote unquote can make life complicated and a little more difficult, is that we get fixated on the things, we get fixated on the destination, we get fixated on that ultimate end goal and where we're going or what we're doing. And oftentimes the process of getting there is not even talked about. And in fact, sometimes I think that, what I really think we need to do is that we need to start to look at, do we enjoy the journey? Do we enjoy the process of getting to where we're going? Because if we're so fixated on buying the new car, getting 1,000 likes on Facebook, getting 100,000 followers, buying a new house, buying a boat, buying a plane, going on that dream vacation, I think all of those tangible things are great motivators. They're great things that we need to look at, that can inspire us, because I think we can achieve all of those things. We can earn all of those things, and I think that's very important too. But also we have to realize that sometimes certain things don't happen. Maybe sometimes God's doing for us what we can't do for ourselves, which might means that He might say, "Hey, not yet," or "Actually, I have a different plan in mind for you on your life journey." And we have to have a willingness to stay open-minded to listening to God in that instance. But also, when we're in the process of going through these things, that there can be disappointment. We can really get fixated. You can get fixated on a person, someone that you think you could spend the rest of your life with. You could get fixated on another individual. And sometimes when we put our worth into other people, other things, and going certain places and all those things, a lot of times we find our self-worth in those certain items. And if we don't achieve those, if those things don't become part of our lives, then we can really beat ourselves up over that. And I think that's really, really tough, and it can be detrimental to our continued growth and continued success, because we really need to fall in love with the process. So if you don't love the process of what you're doing, you might need to reconsider what you're spending your time doing, because the moment that you achieve the pinnacle thing only lasts for a second. And then what? The sun goes down, the sun comes up, and tomorrow's a new day. And so we spend so much of our lives in the process of getting there that, when I find when I train horses, that now a lot of what we do when we train our horses is not even so much about getting them to do particular things, whether it's a hobble training or teaching a horse to stand tied or whatever the case may be, giving them life skills. It's the process and the changes that happen in the moments leading up to when the horse has the finished skill, right? It's not about necessarily teaching a sliding stop or teaching piaffe, but it's the horse learning all the little skills of staying soft, staying relaxed, staying engaged, staying focused, waiting for the instruction from the rider or the handler. It's the process of getting there that makes a horse so quality and so desirable, not necessarily the finished product, right? And I think that that's what we need to think about, guys, this week as we get started, is, do you enjoy the process of what you're doing? Because the finished product is the icing on the cake. Winning that competition, or doing well at a horse show, or being the lead sales agent is all great. You might get your name on a plaque, but do you enjoy the process of getting there? Do you enjoy putting in the grind? Do you enjoy waking up on Monday morning and going to work and putting in the work in that process? I know for me, ever since I was a kid, you know, my parents would let me invite friends over for the weekend, and I would be guilty of getting up at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning and going and cooking like 10 to 12 people breakfast on my own. And then over a couple of years, a couple of my buddies would chime in and help out. But I loved the process of, you know, getting the sausage and the bacon and the eggs going and cooking, you know, all sorts of different kinds of pancakes. And it was never, and most of the time, by the time I got done, I never really ate much because I wasn't really that hungry by the time I got done doing all those things. And it wasn't because I was eating along the way, but I got quote unquote fed from everyone else enjoying that breakfast. And I find that when I'm training horses, it's really fun to get a horse to do a particular maneuver, but I really enjoy the process of getting there way more than actually going that I can do a flying lead change. And, you know, even when we found success in winning a colt starting event, or, you know, being able to go do some really neat things with neat people and neat horses, you certainly enjoy those moments, but they only last for a moment. And then you go back and you go, all right, now let's get back to the grind, let's get back to the journey, let's get back to the process, because whatever I just achieved now is just a stepping stone for where I can be tomorrow and next month, next year. So anyway, guys, Colton Woods with Colton Woods Horsemanship. We certainly hope you found this Monday morning motivation helpful and inspirational. If you find that it certainly hits home with you, be sure to click that like button, hit subscribe if you're watching on our YouTube channel, click follow or like on Facebook, and be sure to at least tag a friend or two down below that could use this morning. So anyway, guys, Colton Woods with Colton Woods Horsemanship. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all take care. Have a blessed week.